Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Eric with Stellar Galaxy TCG, and I'm just doing a little update video. Look at my shiny head. Probably not the best angle or lighting, but either way, today I'm going to be talking about scalping and what they're willing to do to make money. Because basically, that's obvious. The biggest issue that's going on in the hobby right now is scalping, according to everybody. Even though you can never really tell who's a scalper and who's just a collector trying to get stuff. A bunch of places have put in some, anti scalping measures, whether it be the Pokemon Center putting in like a queue system to their website, which has helped some people get some stuff, but even then, it hasn't helped too much. You got places like Best Buy and GameStop trying to do like queue systems also, which a lot of the times people are just waiting and then end up getting nothing in the process, anyways. Um, and now there's new photos and stuff of people posting from the vending machines out there that they are now putting in like product will be released periodically and then things will be limited. Well, basically, a lot of this is just kind of a band aid because limiting what people can get might help in theory, but these people are going above and beyond to get these products. I mean, they're following the restockers around. They're sitting there waiting. They're camping outside of these machines waiting for restock. So it's just one of those things where I don't believe that anything like this is really going to make a significant difference. The only thing that is going to end up making a difference is either the demand dropping for some reason, so the supply that we currently have is enough, which, could be something like a financial downturn or whatever, which, it kind of seems like there are some signs pointing towards that right now. But in the end, consumer sentiment still seems to be pretty decent. And people are still paying these crazy prices for the Pokemon cards. And in the end, that's the thing that's going to have to change. Is there either has to be a demand decrease, so the scalpers have to, drop their prices because a lot of these people are purchasing things on credit card and just basically buying and flipping instantly for double. And imagine if they put all this stuff on a credit card and then nobody wants to buy it. So then it's a race to the bottom on who can get their stuff offloaded first to pay off the credit card kind of a thing. So unless there's something that kind of initiates a downturn as far as demand goes, I don't feel like that side is gonna get any better because it's the hottest it's ever been. More people want it than ever before in almost history. I mean, I know the back in the last boom in 2021 was pretty big, but that was a little bit different because of COVID and all that kind of stuff. So this demand seems a little bit crazier because there's plenty of people and there's a lot more supply, and even then it's still getting eaten up just as fast, almost faster. And in the end, that's really what it comes down to is the demand is just astronomical, and the only way to really fix any of the issues is to increase the supply. And no amount of limiting products, from purchase is going to change that because the scalpers always find a way. They will do some sort of VPN garbage. They'll ship to multiple addresses. They'll have their grandma buy stuff. So they'll always find a way around whatever these things are. These vending machines, if they limit product, maybe they'll, get their family to go with them or, multiple people, friends. I mean, a lot of these people are in groups anyways. So get like a couple of them to go and they just kind of go back to back and just clean it out anyways. So that's not going to change anything. The only other option would be to massively increase supply, which I'm under suspicion that that's not something that Pokemon really wants to do at this point. I think they're pretty happy with the amount of supply that they're putting out just because, you know, Pokemon has been cheap. It has been relatively the same price since back when it started. It's like maybe increased $1 per pack on average. And not including like secondary market value and whatnot. It's just what Pokemon is actually charging. So I mean, the 161 or whatever they have as MSRP is not that inflationary. It's actually a pretty reasonable amount, and I think that they actually like that the price has gone up to that. I think they're tired of selling the boxes at 70, $80, wholesale or whatever it is to these distributors, and the distributors putting it out, making a little bit of profit, then the store is making almost no profit. I think they're kind of past that point, and they really kind of like the way things are at. You know, similar to how Magic the Gathering has had heard those complaints and they've dropped their printing runs and stuff for a lot of these collector boxes, so they actually have value. And so I think Pokemon's kind of just trying to find that sweet spot to where they don't blow it out and just flood the market with product with some of the things they've done in previous years. And we'll see. I mean, this bull run could even it might have like a little bit of correction, a little bit of a downturn, and just unless there's some sort of massive economic downturn as a whole, this sucker is going to be pretty much solid through 30th anniversary. Because if you think these random journey together and stuff like that are hype, just wait till you get to the 30-year stuff. You got Team Rocket later this year. They've already announced like megas and stuff for next year. um, it's going to be crazy. And I just don't see any more. Like, they talked about putting the printers up to maximum, but they just have so many things they have to print, and so many people are just opening packs. That's one thing I didn't even mention is, a lot of people hate it, but that whole rip and ship culture has just been wild. People are opening up thousands and thousands and thousands of packs, and just, Pokemon just can't keep up with it. When you think about it, like these Blooming Waters only have 18 packs in it, and a lot of those people will open like 10, 20 of those a freaking night. And just imagine all those people that are out there. There's so many of them. And so it's just one of those things where they have to massively increase the supply if they want the scalping thing to die down, because if there's too much of it and anybody can get it, then the scalpers will die down. But in the end, what'll end up happening is it'll kind of tank the market and Pokemon as a whole, back to, the quote unquote crash of, COVID or whatever. And then nobody wants to buy it. Because I'm sure everybody's heard those stories of 151 UPCs in Costco just like falling off the pallets. Nobody wanted it. Because I remember even when I got back into the hobby, like late last year, I think it was in like September or whatever, before like the craze was starting to get wild, and I could find stuff anywhere. There was no issue finding product whatsoever. And so it's just kind of one of those things where, yeah, now that I look at it, this is a very unflattering angle, but not much I can do about it at this point. There's just, something has to give. If you're one of those people that is a hardcore collector and this is just too crazy for you, then, maybe just take a break, check machines every once in a while. If you can find something in MSRP, grab it, because prices don't seem to be anywhere, going to be anywhere near that on the secondary market. Or just collect individual cards. I know a lot of the illustration rares and SARs have kind of gotten a little wild, but there's still plenty of cards you can buy. Um, and then there's other, I mean, I guess not necessarily other TCGs, because Magic's kind of going freaking wild too. Everything's kind of wild. So it's just one of those things where, it goes up and down. You'll have your time when everything is going to be back to dirt cheap, and everybody's going to be complaining if somebody does charge MSRP. So you win, you can't win, you can't lose. I mean, or I guess you can only lose if you're somebody selling product. That's why I kind of got away from the sealed game. Is just trying to get product is so difficult, and consistently in the scalping thing, like running around the vending machines, going to all these sites trying to catch these drops, is just way too much. And just, it's a full-time job. I don't know how they do it. I don't have that kind of patience. So I'm just submitting my PSA stuff, getting cards back, buying ones that I find at my local LGS for whatever market price is, and just sending them in, hopefully, doing well on them. With the way that things have gone up for singles also, it has been insane. And so I've, been able to make mistakes on poor grading technique and everything, and still been able to come out relatively profitable on it. And so, but the thing is, I'm able to refine my skill in the meantime, so when things do go down, I will have a better skill set and be able to grade more effectively in the future. Well, either way, thank you for listening to this rant, ramble, whatever you want to call it. Here's the hoping that something changes. I mean, hopefully Pokemon just decides to print a little bit more product and really, put a wrench in some people's plans, but I don't see it happening. I imagine they're printing as much as they possibly can, because they like money, and they hate that they can't just keep selling things because there just isn't anything out there for them to sell. All their stuff is out, and only the secondary market has it. So, well, we'll see what they end up doing. Time will tell. Usually when they say they're increasing printing, it takes a few months. So we'll see. It makes me look like I'm old and have white hair, which I guess I am old and I am balding, but it is what it is. All right, well, thanks for listening. I will see you on the next one. Peace.